Husky Stadium. Two behemoth conferences, bragging rights at stake, the SEC versus the Big Ten. It's the LSU Tigers and the Washington Huskies. Reese Davis, David Pollack, Jesse Palmer here in the booth. Holly Rowe is down on the sidelines, and we check in with her right now.
The most beautiful views from the water on Lake Washington, Husky Stadium, is something special. You can see the lake, the mountains. You can see it all from kickoff. This is one of the most glorious views in all of college sports. Back to you.
Okay, Holly. So Washington's headed toward the football to break the seal on this 2027 season. What kind of field position can he help them with on the return? And he's able to pick his way through the traffic nicely for a good return on that one before he's brought down. This place is roaring, and it's going to be so hard to operate under these conditions. Trying to get through the noise is Lewis. Trying to make magic on the scramble. He's knocked down short game, maybe a pickup of 3. That defense rallied to the ball in a hurry. All right, guys, let's talk LSU. Everybody uses the portal to varying degrees. Sometimes you just fill the exact right hole that you want. And this team, as they start this season, not a ton of new faces here, Jesse.
They didn't, but I don't think it's because there was a lack of effort on the part of the coaches, David. I think they believe they've got the roster in place now to have success.
Yeah, because when you bring people in, a lot of times you tick people off on your own roster. So when you only bring a few in, you cherry-pick some elite talent and some real concerns that you have, sometimes it just addresses everything you need.
They'll snap this one from the 42. It's 1st and 10. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Durham. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
Linebackers in today's football, obviously, guys have gotten smaller. They got to play in space more, cover fast guys out on the perimeter. But how about this linebacker coming downhill and making a physical tackle in the hole?
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. He's got it again. And he doesn't find much running room. A short gain on the play.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They'll get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
3rd and long from the 42. If they can get some of it, it might give them a chance to go for it on 4th down. Lewis, pocket breaking down. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's cut.
You just got to wonder, too, guys, if the crowd didn't impact the offense. They're playing on the road on the first 3rd down of this football game. Incomplete. The idea here, I think, just punt it away and see if you can regroup, because this environment is hostile.
Fields the punt and tries to work it the other way. Was looking for more running room, but found nothing but more tacklers. He's down at the 24. They'll start on the ground with Washington. That is a big win for this defense, as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Man, a lot of times when you blitz that linebacker, it's about timing. You don't show your hand, and he gets up to the line of scrimmage, gets right through the line, and makes the tackle for a loss.
And as soon as the running back gets the football, he's got a face full of linebacker.
Not much you can do there. Like, you got to have a little better block. You got to identify that blitz a little bit faster by the offensive line.
Will Williams. Rushes on him. And they got him.
And this is going to be the matchup for this defense all game long, containing the QB speed, because he can get out and he can roll. Nice job early in this football game, judging his speed, getting out there, getting the sack, and most importantly, getting a hit on him early in this football game so he can physically feel you, and those hits can start to add up throughout a football game.
Lined up in the gun, Williams on third down. Throws for the tight end. He's open on the right. He's close to the first down, but they're going to mark him just a little short. Offense staying on the field. They'll hurry up on fourth down. Using his feet. And that's not going to come close as the defense stops him well short of this first down. Couldn't ask for better starting field position for this offense. Throwing, Lewis. A shot toward the end zone. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, LSU!
And that was a play call the coordinator had in his back pocket. He was hoping his defense would get the stop on fourth down. They did. There was no question. He was telling his quarterback, if we take the field, we're taking a shot. You know who you're throwing it to. What a great job of having a shot play ready to go, and it pays off.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. We'll see if that failed fourth down in their own end last time, David, sort of curbed some of the aggressiveness.
Well, you hear about it all the time in football. Go for it. Be aggressive. The problem is when you get stopped, sometimes it puts you in a hole. And, Jesse, now the offense has to come out and respond.
They were real disappointed not getting that first down. You could see it on the sideline. So let's just see if that's kind of galvanized them a little bit here to go make a statement and get some points.
They got nothing on the last play. It's 2nd and 10. Throwing, Williams. Under fire. They got him. Great pressure by this defense.
And that's absolutely going to be one of the keys to this football game. Keep the rabbit in the cage, man. Don't let him get outside that pocket, start bouncing out wide. That's where he'll do a lot of his damage with all that speed. That is a big key for this defense. Great job here early in the football game.
Not exactly the ideal situation for this offense. 3rd and long, back up inside their 20. Williams looking for a man. Throws to the tight end. Got his man. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down.
And that's a big throw. That's a big-time throw on 3rd and really long, making a play, not putting the ball in harm's way. But I love what the defense did, man. They understood where the sticks were, and they weren't letting their playmaker get behind there. They were going to come up, make a sure tackle, and force the 4th down. And now you can make the decision on what you want it to be, but I like the execution by the defense.
Tigers sending out their offense ready to get this drive started. Already a solid start to this one. Now back to work with this 7-0 lead. Here's Lewis to throw. Looking to the big tight end. Complete downfield. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks.
He's showing you his skills on that last throw. This guy's got arm talent and accuracy, man, and some of it's not coachable. And I think back to Jamarcus Russell and Joe Burrow, 2 former Tiger quarterbacks that were the first overall pick in the NFL draft. They had some of that, too. They just had a feel for the position that you simply couldn't coach at the college level. This guy, man, he's got some serious tools, and he really helps make this offense dangerous.
And those plays right there, you can see the receiver smells the end zone, right? Like he makes the play, he catches it, starts to go downfield, and all you're doing is you're just trying to get there, man. Trying to finish off the run, outrun that last guy, and he just trips him up, and the defense lives to fight another down.
Great team defense on that run play. Everybody doing their job. People winning their one-on-ones, D-linemen staying in their gaps, linebackers and DBs filling. You just can't do it better.
They go right back to their man on 2nd and goal. Grinding and churning close to the goal line, but he'll be stopped inches short.
After getting stopped on that 2nd down, don't be surprised if the offense hands it off to him again here at the goal line on 3rd.
They'll run it with Caden Durham. He'll be stopped short. It'll bring up 4th down as this defense makes a play. And after that run, there is a player still down on the field. That is the senior running back who's slow to get up. Holly will keep an eye on things. Sideline for us. So he took a chance by using a timeout on the challenge, and it comes back to bite him. We'll see if he needs that timeout later. All they need is a field goal to make it a 2-score game, but they are going for the jugular and the touchdown here on 4th and goal. They're going to run it. And he breaks the play. Touchdown, Tigers.
And I love it. This offense making no bones about it. We're going to be aggressive. We get the ball down in the red zone, 4th and goal, Palmer. Stay aggressive. They run the football, and they get the touchdown.
And that's the shocking thing, David, is that on 4th down, they have supreme confidence in this offensive line to win up front, one-on-one, get some push, and then how about the ball carrier just finding his way into the end zone?
It bounds through the back of the end zone. It'll be a touchback. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Quarterback keeper. Give him a pickup of 2, now 2nd and 8.
Well, they try to go quarterback design run on that play, but the defense just not buying it. Nice job, everybody playing downhill and making a tackle close to the line of scrimmage.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. He might want another play. Williams. It's complete on the right side. And they'll stop him just short of the 1st down, just inches away from moving the sticks.
It's early in the game, and as offenses try to get their rhythm, these easy completions are very important because that's what helps you get your feet underneath you as an offense and as a unit. And hopefully, as this game goes on, they'll be able to rev up and get more aggressive taking shots.
As they get set to snap it, time winding down here in the quarter. Love to see these 3rd down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line. Williams will pass. Throws to the wideout. Pulls it in with one hand. Guys, LSU has the lead here. As we take a look at the stats, things a little one-sided so far. Now to see if they can answer this early blitz here in the 2nd quarter. So they'll go back to work after changing into the field. Running inside. It's Clark. Nowhere to go on that one. It'll bring up 2nd and 10. Let's talk for just a second about Washington. One of the big storylines coming into this year was the rising temperature of the coach's seat. And the process of cooling things off starts now.
All offseason, this coach has said the right things. I'm not worried about it. I'm not focused on it. I'm just worried about our team. But, David, let's be real. He's got to win games. There is an expectation at this program to win. And if he doesn't start fast this year...
Deep shot for the end zone. And swatted down by the defense to stop the scoring opportunity.
It just looks to me like the offense is starting to get a little bit impatient, right, guys? They haven't scored in this game yet, and all of a sudden now they're taking shots down the field and they're trying to make it happen. But the defense, they have been lights out. They force another incompletion.
Quarterback making checks. Here's Williams to throw. Makes the grab on the left. That's not quite going to be enough as they stop him 4 yards short of the marker. They were unfazed by that earlier fourth down failure and will try for a second time in this one. Williams to throw for it on fourth. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Going the other way, and he's got room. The tap. And he has taken it all the way back. Touchdown, Tigers.
And how about the defense coming up huge? It looked like this was going to get really, really close, and they do what they do, man. Make that one big play, Palmer. Force not only the turnover, and then take it all the way back to the house. They looked like they were about to give up points, and then all of a sudden, they get points of their own.
And that was a bad decision by the quarterback, too, David. I get it. You're trailing on the scoreboard, but you got to know you can't get it all back on one throw. He threw that into traffic. Give the defense credit. They were where they needed to be. They didn't just pick it off. They took it to the house and added insult to injury.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. The Huskies offense out there and ready to go. They really need to get points on this drive to sort of steady the ship. Williams makes the grab. Crosses the 30. He's got away. He steps out right at the 40-yard line, and now they are in business moving toward midfield.
You never want to say it's over early. I mean, we're here early in the game, but considering what the scoreboard is saying, they absolutely had to have that play for them to stay in this football game. And sometimes it just takes one great throw and one great catch to wake you up. They need to score a touchdown on this drive. They need to score another touchdown on their next drive. And maybe that's the play that turns things around for them.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Quarterback making adjustments. Throwing, Williams. Escapes the pressure going right. And he'll just get rid of that one.
Like the job by the defense there in coverage. They took every option away from the quarterback. He was outside of the pocket, nowhere to go with it, so they forced the incompletion throwaway.
And after the big play to start the drive, now 2 straight incompletions, and they need to find a way on third down. Williams looking for a man. Unloads to the wideout. Intercepted. A first half turnover can swing momentum.
Man, another mistake by this. Listen, he is an elite quarterback. He's really, really good. He's pressing too much. Jesse, the #1 job of a quarterback, You better protect the football. I don't care how good you are, you better protect it.
Yeah, you just got to take what the defense is giving you, and I agree, David. It looks like right now he's trying to force the big play instead of just checking it down or throwing away. He's got to do a better job working through his progressions right now. He's got tons of talent, but he's making bad decisions.
The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. Concentration is key. Have to know the snap count. The false start backs him up. It's 1st and 15. Lewis. Oh, they're after him. I don't think that's the way they drew it up. Incomplete. Let's talk for a minute about LSU. The only important expectations are the ones inside the program, but when you start the season on the outside of the rankings looking in, it can give you a little bit of an edge, can it?
Yeah, they want to prove to everybody they should have been ranked coming into this year. These players are angry. They feel like they're being disrespected, and they want to make a point to the entire college football world with a big win today.
Yeah, and you hear it all off season, and you see it every year. The teams come out of nowhere, and they feel like they've got a lot of potential, a lot of high-ranked players on the squad, and they're going to put it together, and that they'll get themselves into those rankings.
It'll be 3rd and long. On the gun on 3rd down, Lewis. Fires to the wideout. Working the middle. Made a defender miss. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets them a first at the 29. The Tigers come to the line with a new set of downs. It's Lewis again. Rolling to the right, trying to make something happen. And with not much doing downfield, he found his parents open in the stands and threw it to them.
Know the situation, know the game of football, right? When I start to get outside the pocket, I don't see anything there. I can throw the ball away. I don't have to take a sack, get a lost yardage play. I can just throw the ball out of bounds as long as it passes the line of scrimmage. We go on to the next down. No harm, no foul.
Phenomenal job by the defense that time, shutting down the option play. They knew they were going to see this in this game, and all week long in practice, they really focused on this assignment football, making sure the dive, the quarterback, the pitch, all taken away. Nowhere to go with the football that time offensively. The defense coming up with a huge negative play.
Bringing the heat. Throws toward the end zone. Intercepted. Big play stops the drive. Nice pickup on the return, but more important, they got the takeaway, and now they're in business.
Well, obviously it's raining here in this game, and the ball's slippery. I don't know if that slipped out of the QB's hands a little bit, but it certainly wasn't an accurate throw, and as a result, it ends up in an interception.
Might be changing the route. Motion from the wideout. Williams. He hurls one deep down the left side. And it's picked off for the 3rd time today. Got some room to run. And they'll drag him down after a good return on the interception.
And what a play by the defender. He's on an island all by himself in cover 1 man coverage. Just him and the wideout, and he ends up winning, coming up with a big INT.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Here's a give to Durham. Defense right there to stop him in his tracks, and they get nothing on that play.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
Plows ahead for a pickup of 1 to the 32.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
3rd down from the gun, Lewis. They got him, and down he goes. And what a huge sack that might have knocked him out of field goal range. LSU will bring the punt team on the field. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Wants to bring it back. Couldn't get away from that cover team, and they've got him down at the 23. take over late in the half, enough time to put together a drive. The RPO, it's complete. And a good job of coverage by that defense, just a short pickup.
This is why there's a lot of receivers that go alligator arms and they start tiptoeing over the middle of the field because you don't want to be living where these big physical linebackers are. This guy, though, completely fearless, crosses the defender's space and makes the catch, gets absolutely laid out by the linebacker, but he holds on anyway.
Here's Williams to throw. It's caught. They finally get to him. The what a play there to pick up the first down. And the Huskies, right after the huge play through the air, back to the line. Timeout called by LSU. That's their second. And that got under their skin a little bit, having to use the TO after giving up the first down. This offense has had trouble getting it in gear, but maybe a little life here on 1st and 10. Quarterback may change this route. Williams trying to burn this defensive back. Leaping grab for a big gain. Stop at the 3, but it'll be enough to give them a 1st and goal. And this is a really important series of plays, a chance to cut into the lead just before halftime. In the red area, it's Clark. And he surges across the line. Touchdown, Washington!
And that's exactly what the offense needed right there. A touchdown here, and I know it's taken a while. They hadn't had a lot of success up until that moment. Late in the second quarter, they finally were able to punch one in the end zone, and that's going to give them some confidence now to take into the locker room here shortly at halftime, but they've got to play much better in the second half.
He'll bring it out. It's Barnes. He stopped short of the 20 at the 19 and probably wishes he'd just taken the touchback. So they start this drive from inside their own 20 at the 19-yard line. Throwing. Lewis unloads to the wideout. And they're not on the same page there. Backed up now, here's 2nd and long. Lewis to throw. He uncorks one deep. And that's going to be incomplete, going for broke on 2nd down, but 3rd down's coming up.
Pedal to the metal right now for this offense. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns. Here on their 3rd possession, they're still taking shots way down the field, and why not? Give the defense credit finally. Something good happens for them to get the incompletion, but if I'm this quarterback, I'm still throwing it deep.
You can feel and hear the purple rain all the way across Lake Washington. 3rd down coming. Find space on the right. It's a running room. They mark him out of bounds at the 42, and they're on the move.
And, man, you see it so many times, man. These crossing routes, like, it doesn't matter if it's zone or if it's man. Like, zone, you find the hole. Man, you run away from guys. And if you put the ball on the money, just like the QB did right there, that's what happens. The yards after the catch, man. You can keep going. Guys are so spread out, and you can make big plays on this offense.
Nice move there. Could be an alley. Now the Tigers will take their final timeout of the half. And they won't be able to stop the clock again for the remainder of this half. Running out of time here in the first half, they're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Here's Lewis to throw. And the quarterback will be slung down back at the 43. Lewis from the gun on third down. Here comes the heat. Pass is incomplete, and half comes to a close on that play. And they head to the locker room. 2 quarters in the books, and time for us now to check in with Kevin Connors in our EA Sports College Football studio with scores from around the country.
Guys, we welcome you into the Week 0 edition of the EA Sports College Football Update Show. Let's lead off with the Nevada Wolfpack taking on the Troy Trojans. And it's the Wolfpack trying to win the home opener. They've got the lead midway through the first half.
Here comes the Washington offense to start this possession. Trailing by a couple of scores, they'd like to generate some confidence here early in the third quarter.
Down 2 possessions, the coaching staff met in at halftime, and they've probably scripted this opening drive. Just like they do at the start of the game, they've now got an idea.
Another interception. That's his 4th of the day. Oh, he got loose. Finally brought down, but what a play, not only to get the football, but to flip the field position with the return.
And you can't start the half any better than that. You talk about going in, making halftime adjustments, talking about what they did. It looks like they knew exactly what they were going to do. Come out, read the pass, break on the football, make the pick, and draw first blood here in the third quarter.
Lewis throws to the wideout. He makes the catch in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
And you got to love seeing that if you're the head coach of this team, right? You always want to see your team start fast early in games and then also start fast at the beginning of the third quarter. You had a big lead. You take the ball right away here in the second half. You drive it down the field, and you score. This offense has been dialed in right from the get-go. It's been very impressive to watch.
And he's going to try to return this one. Just able to get out to the 18-yard line on the return before he stopped. And Washington is ready to go back on the attack. They're down by 21 points, but you get a touchdown here, and you do at least apply a little game pressure, Jesse.
It's true. I think for them to get back in this one at this point now, they need the quarterback to play his best football. He's going to have to be good really pre-snap, David, making sure they're in the right looks, and he's got to be really good with his decision-making.
He's got to be dialed in because defensively you're giving up points. So it's not like you have the luxury of your defense playing great. The offense is going to have to score and score pretty dang quickly.
Throwing, Williams. Working the middle of the field, and it's complete. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that first down marker. And this offense just has to find a way to convert this third down, or else they are really in trouble. Might be calling a hot route. Third down from the gun, Williams. And he was hit just as he released it, and it falls to the turf.
And you got to expect this offense to go for it again here on fourth down, right? Obviously trailing, we're in the second half, but we saw them try to go for it on fourth down early. Didn't have any success. They've got to dial up a better play here.
You want to talk about aggressive or wacky? This head coach is keeping his offense on the field inside his own 30. Williams to the air again. Unloaded just as he throws. It's incomplete, and they stop him on fourth down.
Well, at this point of the game, in the second half, down 3 possessions, you're not punting anymore, right? Every fourth down you're going to be going for, regardless of where you are in the field. The problem is, defense knows it too, so they're going to play call accordingly. That time, they had a better play call on. They execute. It's just been that kind of day for this offense.
And that's exactly the response you want now from your defense. Your offense just turns the football over, puts you in a really bad spot. Great job being ready on first down, playing the pass, now forcing a second down. You want to force the field goal here. Obviously the bad field position, but the defense responds on first down.
Throwing, Lewis. Fires to the wideout. Can't make the grab. Quarterback just missed him a little bit.
Bad news on that play, it's an incompletion. The good news is the quarterback knew if his guy wasn't going to catch it, nobody was with that ball landing out of bounds.
Third play of the drive, and they need to make something happen here on 3rd and long. On the gun on 3rd down, Lewis. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
If I'm the offensive coordinator, I'm thinking about chipping this defensive end with running backs. I'm leaving my tight ends in to help this tackle because we cannot block him. He's already got 2 sacks.
No good. Missed the field goal, but still up by 3 touchdowns and 21 points.
Oh, man, the dreaded doink when you knock it off the crossbar. Those are ones where, man, just a couple inches to the other side, towards the middle, and that thing's in, but it still counts as a missed opportunity.
The run inside. It's Clark. That's the kind of play that can really get you going as they have a first down at the 43.
And, you know, big chunks like this don't happen unless you commit to the run game. You got to get those big boys up front into the game, understanding I want to knock people off the football, create some holes like you do here for my running back, make the game easy.
Offense lines up for a 1st and 10 from the 43. He's in open space. Got a little grass. They just gashed the defense on that one, and they've got it down to the 23. An explosive play takes them right outside the red zone, and they've got it 1st and 10. Play fake, Williams. Got the back over the middle. He hauled that one in and got it down to the 15-yard line. The Huskies want to crank the tempo. From the red zone, it's Washington. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive.
It's great awareness by the running back, understanding where the first down marker is and doing whatever it takes to get it.
Washington coming to the line with another first down. Trying play action. Quarterback strolling away from Heat. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone. And after that last play, there is a Husky who has yet to get up. Looks as if it's their senior quarterback who's down on the play, and that is a guy they can ill afford to lose. We'll have Holly check on his condition shortly. Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. He wants to change this route. Second down, they'll go to the air. And the Heat will get home, and the quarterback goes down at the 17.
It's always so hard for offensive coordinators to adjust their game plan. When you lose your starting quarterback, now you got your backup in. A lot of times there's so much cautiousness, and you just don't want to run them that much, or you don't feel comfortable with the whole playbook. And you could see it there, and you could see the cautiousness, the hesitation led to a sack.
On third and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. Couldn't find anywhere to throw the football, just got rid of it, and that's the number one thing. Avoid disaster here. And here comes the field goal unit. He'll line it up from 34 yards out. It's good, and that was dead solid perfect. That cuts the lead down to 28-10.
And you want a touchdown, and you want to be aggressive, but, man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And he'll bring it back. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. So the LSU Tiger offense comes out to start this drive. You want to talk about taking the wind out of your sails. Drive the ball down the field and miss the field goal, David.
You know what? Don't leave it up to kickers. Execute better offensively. I think you move the ball nice. You got to keep that in mind. But, Palmer, I think you got to stay aggressive and don't settle for field goals.
Yeah, because you got to know there's just no margin for error right now. You just have got to be able to execute at a higher level.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line, 2nd and 7. Caden Durham again. Gets it across the 30 to the 31, a pickup of 5.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to believe the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Sends it back in motion. Third down from the gun, Lewis. Quickly complete. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're out to their own 39-yard line.
And I think great offenses find a way to get their playmakers the football in space. Nice job designing the wheel route. It's good versus man. It's good versus zone. Nice route. Nice catch by the running back.
That one falls out of bounds, incomplete.
I think when you go through these progressions as a quarterback, you want to find the right guy to throw to, obviously. I didn't think he was the right guy. I didn't think he was really that open. And listen, he sailed and he overthrew it, but I might have surveyed the middle of the field a little bit better there.
Motion from the back. Throws for the tight end. Picked it off, and this defense really needed something to go right. The Huskies have it back, trying to make this defense bow down to Washington. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more urgency and maybe a little more aggressiveness, Jesse.
And the defense picks up a sack, getting the quarterback down at the 44. Oh, man, they've already lost one quarterback today. Now the backup comes in and has to take a shot.
Man, I might think about protecting my QB a little better. I already lost one. Now your second guy gets hit, and you got to keep this guy healthy. You got to keep him upright. You got to protect your quarterback, man.
And the Huskies with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. To throw, it's McMillan. Fires to the big fella. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered. Pick up the first. The Huskies are in the hurry up. On third and long, no secret what he needs here. And the defense gets home and makes a play at the 37-yard line.
And this defense just continues to dominate the football game. This score is lopsided. It's not looking good. But I know one thing. If you can't protect that guy, there's no chance for you to win this game or the future games.
Make sure that there's not going to be a return on this one. Ball's out of bounds, and I think they'll mark it right around the 25. One final play before the end of the quarter. Corner's right up on that line of scrimmage. Here's Caden Durham to begin the drive. They knock him down behind the line, and the defense finishing this third quarter in style. Guys, LSU has the lead here. We take just a minute to look at the stats as they are threatening to put this one away. And we're just about ready to go with the final quarter. So the final period starts with a second down play. Here's Durham one more time. That'll be a gain of 5 out to the 27.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. Fourth quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just doing safe runs inside the tackles like you saw right there. You just got to execute. You got to be aware, but you've got this game in hand so long as you don't turn it over.
The Tigers will call a timeout. That's their first. They still have a couple of timeouts to work with in this final quarter. Ball's at the 27. This offense facing a third and long. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Looks as if they didn't get it off in time. It'll be a delay of game. That is a completely avoidable penalty. The quarterback just went into brain lock and lost track of the play clock. Third down is coming. Now a little bit farther to go after the penalty. On the gun on third down, Lewis. Gonna let it fly. He's got it down the left side. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line.
Well, it really just feels like they are trying to make a statement to everybody in college football. They've got a lead, they've got it late, and they are still putting it on this defense. They are still letting it fly. They're airing it out.
Here's a little room there. Touchdown, Tigers. And the route is on.
And this kind of performance has to give this team so much confidence. Week 1, you go on the road into a hostile environment, and you put the beat down like this, this coaching staff is going to be happy on the ride home.
Number 8 set to kick this one away.
And he's going to bring this one out. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. The Huskies offense out there and ready to go. They went 3 and out last time. Now they'll look for some plays that work. Here he goes breaking the pocket. Got his man on the right. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling there out to the 35.
The offense has struggled. They're not going to win this game, but trust me, this coaching staff is still trying to find things to build off of for next week. And after an explosive play,
he tosses one high and deep down the left side. He's got it way down the field. They make the stop, but not before he sets them up with a first and goal from the 10. On the doorstep of cashing it in for the offense. Trying to run, it's Washington. Wrestled down at the 8-yard line as they threaten deep in the red zone.
First down and goal, I bet you the percentages are really high for run, and this defense was ready for it. They got to match the physicality right here, right now in this situation.
Timeout called by LSU. That's their second. They've got one timeout left now. They'll have to choose wisely as to when to use it. A little wrinkle here as they go to the Wildcat and use the extra blocker. Snap to the back. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Washington.
Yeah, and this offense needs a spark, man. Down big. Listen, it's game one. It's not the end of the world, but we got a deficit. Got to put some drives together. Nice drive here. Now the defense needs to do their part because they got to put this thing in turbo.
Here comes the two-point try. Back to throw, it's McMillan. Quarterback doing what he does best. He can move. And they almost came up with that pick in the end zone. What a stop that would have been.
That keeps the score. LSU 34, Washington 16.
The deficit is huge. This one is all but over, but they'll keep trying and line up for the onside kick. They were ready for the onside kick and executed perfectly, and they secure the football.
well, here in the fourth quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
The Tigers send out the offense to go to work. Keeping it on the ground inside. It's Durham. They didn't get a push at all on that one. It'll be no gain on the play.
It's going to be tough sledding for the offense here. They're trying to ice this game by running the football and bleeding the clock. They've got a pretty good lead here late in the game, but the defense knows the run's coming, right? So they're going to be loading the line of scrimmage, getting stops like what they just did. Be interesting to see what the offense does on this next one.
And a nice solid pickup there before the defense wrestles him to the ground.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
Finds a soft spot in the middle. They are on the move as they pick up the first down. They'll spot it at the 28.
Really nice job there by the quarterback, understanding that it's zone coverage on third down. You're going to have to find someone working into a soft spot, get the ball out of your hands quickly, make an accurate throw, and pick up the first. Well done.
Handoff, Caden Durham. Got 6 yards on the play, 2nd and 4 coming.
Man, that's the advantage of having a good coaching staff to teach these players in this type of situation with the lead late in the game. You want to stay in the field of play and keep the clock ticking. They do that after that nice run.
Caden Durham again. Maybe some room here. Tough run, gets it into the red zone, and they knock him down at the 17.
I think you have to like what you see if you're the coaching staff here. Your offense is on the field, and it looks like you got a pretty good drive going, and you're just going to try and keep this thing marching, keep the clock ticking. You've got a really nice lead here late. Just want to find ways to keep the chains moving. They're doing it.
But nowhere to go. Stop right at the line of scrimmage.
Nice job by this defense playing assignment football. Somebody has to have the quarterback. Somebody has to have the pitch. And most importantly, when you get there, you got to get him on the ground. Nice job tackling by this defense.
And he'll step out of bounds after a very productive play.
Well, great job making the tackle there. Now setting up third down in your own red zone. This is a stop you have to come up with. You want to give up field goals in this area of the field, not touchdowns.
Lewis from the gun on third down. Pressure coming. Couldn't connect with his man in the end zone, but they're going to back up after this penalty is announced, I believe. And now on fourth down, they'll try a field goal. This is going to have to be unleashed from 54 yards out. It's good. And that lead grows even bigger.
And they just tack on more points to this big lead. Listen, fourth quarter was sitting extremely pretty. All we got to do, not give up big plays, make them earn everything they get the rest this way, and we looking pretty good.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. Here comes the Washington offense to start this possession. To the air, it's McMillan. Back open in the middle.
And defensively, this is exactly what you want, right? You got the big lead, so you can play big zone coverages. Just keep the ball in front of you. Keep your eye on the quarterback. Rally to the football. Gang tackle. And you're going to win this game.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Got his man downfield. Big pickup on that one. They'll mark him out at the 40. Clock stops, and we've reached the 2-minute timeout. This offense looking for anything to cut into this big lead. The offense lines up at the 40. They've got a first down. They'll move the wide receiver. To the air on first down. Here's the pressure. And down he goes.
The defense puts the exclamation point on the day. They have had a wonderful day, man. Doing everything great. Just, you could tell they were dialed into what was going on. And now just throw another sack in the equation. Hitting the quarterback, being disruptive. They've been all over the field.
And this defense is bringing the heat. Another sack.
And that play is a microcosm of what this game has been. They have not been able to protect their quarterback all game long, early or late, up front. Moving forward, this offense has got to do a better job, or else they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Fires one high and deep. Got it in stride inside the 20. Ripped off a huge chunk play on that one as he gets the first down before he steps out of bounds.
Hey, you know, the defense here in this situation with a huge lead, they've got to anticipate that this offense is going to be trying to throw the ball to the sideline, so they've got to work different coverages to try to force the quarterback to go over the middle of the field with the football.
From the red zone, looking for a man. Throws to the tight end. Finds a man on the left. Gets out of bounds after the big play, and they'll be set up in business with a first and goal.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. You get the first down, you get out of bounds, you're working the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
And he's in! Touchdown, Husky! On to attempt the try. Splits the uprights. They go 83 yards on the drive, and they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. They're definitely up against it. Time running out, down 2 possessions. They'll try the onside kick. And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it.
And you're just waiting for that right bounce, that right skip for that ball to get 10 yards to try to make something happen and make a miracle come to fruition. And, Palmer, it's not going to happen. The defense's hands team, they were ready, they were dialed in, and they get the football back.
Yeah, they fall on that one, David, and they can breathe a little bit easier now. But let's be honest, I mean, in college football, we've seen crazier things happen in these types of situations. The ball takes a crazy bounce. There's always a chance. You got to give the receiving team there a lot of credit. The hands team gets it done, and they win the game.
Just what this offense was looking for. Sets them up at the 26 with the first down.
And this offense, you can tell, just still feeling confident. Like, they have the lead. It's the fourth quarter. First down, that's not a running play. That's a passing play. They're really in a rhythm, feeling good about themselves.
Here's Lewis to throw. The sweet feet buy a little time. There's some room. He goes out of bounds after a solid gain on the play.
And I think this is important for this defense. This will be a big key in the football game. Like, I got to limit the damage from that guy. Because that's a QB that's dynamic, and he can make so many big plays. I got to string him out. I got to make him get to the sideline. But I will say this. I do want to hit him at the end of the runs. I don't want to let him out of bounds and let him get free carries. I want it to be physical.
Washington stops the clock and uses its first timeout. And they'll still have 2 timeouts left for the rest of this game. Third down play in the red zone, and this crowd is at fever pitch. Here's Lewis. And a missed opportunity on third down as the defense knocks it free, and fourth down is coming up.
Third and short in college football today, you see so much more pass than you used to. The offense stays aggressive, and I think they stay aggressive because they know they're in field goal range. They got that 3 in their back pocket.
They already have a comfortable lead up by multiple possessions, but they're going to go for it here on fourth down. Fourth down, Lewis. And as he throws, the incomplete pass makes this series end in frustration as they turn it over on downs.
Love the coverage on defense there. Fourth down, they were ready for the pass. You saw in the back end, great job being in position to make that play, and now their offense is coming on the field.
Looking to throw, it's McMillan. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
Well, the windows right now to throw into are getting smaller and smaller. How about the defender that time breaking on the ball? It was the hit that caused the incompletion.
So now it's second and long. Quarterback adjusting the pattern. They'll throw again after the incompletion. He's taking the deep shot. And they wanted it all on that incomplete pass. Instead, they're looking at third down.
I'll tell you, this offense just can't afford too many more incompletions because time's running out in the game. They need big plays in the passing attack, vertically down the field, and they've got to score some touchdowns.
Now backed up in their own end, it's third and long. From the gun, wants to pass. The throw, complete to the left. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. Timeout is called by the offense. They have 14 seconds left. Washington has it and a fresh set of downs. Looking downfield on first down. He's taking a deep shot late in the game. The pass falls incomplete, and there are 8 seconds left.
And the defense finally stops him, right? He's had a heck of a day, and they're taking a shot down the field to him. And I think they've gone to their go-to guy because he's put up numbers, and he's been productive, and he's got that speed on the outside. Defense has definitely got an eye on him and kind of saying, hey, we got to make sure we take him away.
Time to take a shot. The pass is incomplete, and there are 2 ticks remaining on the clock.
Well, you knew you were going to see it in this game, throwing the go route to one of the fastest players in all of college football. This receiver strikes fear in the heart of every defense because he's got elite track speed. He's going to blow the combine up in the 40-yard dash because of his wheels. Not able to connect with the quarterback on that one, but you know he has the defense's attention.